Well, hello and welcome to the library. I'm gonna try something today, and I'm gonna try to make a short and focused video because most of my videos just turn into epic dramas. I don't know, but I'm in the library today because I have something that I really want to do, and I thought that I would show you because, you know, you got to see the whole library makeover, and I've done a library tour. So we're gonna talk about this chair over here. I know when we did the library makeover video, you guys were worried I was not going to keep the chair. We kept the chair. We're keeping the chair. It's nice to have a place to sit and read. The problem with the chair, though, and this is something that I was concerned about, the reason that I thought maybe let's put the chair somewhere else and get something else in here to sit on, because I still think I would rather have like a very, very small settee love seat type couch at the foot of the bed instead of this, because this blocks the shelves. And so it's difficult for me to get to the books behind the chair. The chair is kind of heavy, it's sitting on carpet, it's hard to move. So it gets a little bit tricky when I'm trying to reach the books behind the shelves, and I did something really silly and I put the books that I really like on the shelves behind the chair. Because I'm like, if I ever film in here, silly Auburn, don't do that. So I've decided I want to move some books around, and I'm trying to justify this in my mind, like, does it really need to be done? I'm not reading my books because I can't reach them. So I'm gonna put books back there that I don't reach for very often. So I do have some ideas in mind. This bookshelf I think is the prettiest one. So these are like the Barnes & Noble collectible editions or whatever, the hard leather bound whatever. And they're so pretty, but I don't reach for them. I don't read these very often. I do, and I've actually traveled with them before because they're, you know, huge bind-ups of lots of different stories. So they're really convenient to take lots of books in one volume. But they're heavy and they're fancy, and I just don't reach for them very often. So I think I can still get like the aesthetic purposes behind the shelf for if I ever film, and I can make the books that I like, that I'm going to read more often, because these are the books that I generally read more often over here. I can move them to a more accessible place. I don't think I'm going to touch any books on that shelf over there because, I mean, there's children's books on the bottom shelf, and we don't have any like small kids in this house, so it's totally fine. Then the next shelf up is Harry Potter, and my sister's on a boycott of Harry Potter because of the author and their very small-minded approach to things. So we're kind of stepping away from the J.K. Rowling stuff, but we have the books. We bought them a long time ago. We have the wands. We're just keeping all that stuff because we're not going to get rid of it, because I will eventually, when I'm brave enough, I will reread the books. But I tried doing a reread a couple of years ago and I got to book 4 and I was just like, ooh, it's scary. I don't want to read this. So I put it down. Books 1 through 3, love. Book 4 starts to get a little bit scary for me. And then, yeah, anyway, this shelf, I'm not going to touch. I'm going to leave everything the way that it is. And even the bottom shelf on this bookcase here, more kids' books. They're like bedtime stories and fairy tale compilations, which I love. But I think everything from this shelf here up is going to move over this way. So we'll leave the bottom shelf on this one alone, and then basically flip-flop these two shelves. Is this going to be enough for a whole video? Who knows? I'm already almost 5 minutes into this clip. So, yeah, I need to move this chair out of the way, and then we can start flip-flopping the books. Also, if you've been watching my channel and you watched me like paint my plant pots, I have these are candle jars that we got at TJ Maxx, I don't know, a couple years ago, I think, around Halloween time, August, September, October. And so they have like the little pumpkin top Obviously we burned all the candle, the candle's gone, but I was using these as plant pots. Now I have actual plant pots, so I can put these back in here because I'm using them as tchotchkes to decorate my bookshelves, and I like to keep little things in some of them as like a little surprise for me. So anyway, I can put them back and that'll be nice. But I'm not keeping plants in here. I tried that. Epic fail. We're not doing that. We killed a lot of them, so we're not doing that. But I think every other shelf in here is good. I'm really happy with this shelf here because this shelf here above the pumpkin and then even the one above that, those are my like Tolkien shelves. Lots of Lord of the Rings stuff and Middle-earth stuff and just general Tolkien stuff. This shelf here with that black pumpkin, that one is the Chronicles of Narnia. Then this one down here is like, I want to call that YA dystopian that I used to read in high school. Think The Hunger Games, the Selection Series, what's the other one? Divergent, that sort of thing. So that's all on that shelf. And then down here, it's all school books. I could probably get rid of those. I say that every time, and I never do. So we're just going to hang on to those for now. I could probably move them. If I moved them anywhere, I would move them behind this chair and then like flip-flop the education books with the fairy tale books over there. But I don't really want to do that. Anyway, I think that's enough chattering for now. I'm going to actually get to work switching these books around. And I think the best way to go about it is to do it one shelf at a time, because I like the layout of the books over there. I just want to like switch the location of them in the room. So I think I'll just do one shelf at a time, and if I decide to do the bottom shelf, I'll do that one last. I'll think about it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. But for now, I'm gonna get to work. So I've made the switch, and I do like this better. This stuff over here and the stuff that I, want to access more in the middle. I'm still debating moving that and those, because part of me is like, well, I want to keep the kids' books together. So I've got kids' books here and then on this shelf over here. Am I ever going to need to access those? Probably not. I don't know. I know I'm never going to need those, but these are like educational books, and so are those. And then this like goes into self-help and hobby stuff. So I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it the way that it is. I think it's fine. So here's what we're looking like afterwards. I also added back my little pumpkin jars. So I have the orange one here. We have the blue one here, and then the red one I added back over here. so that's nice. I didn't even show you these earlier because we do have this bookshelf over here. These are more, what do I want to call this? Contemporary. I've got my nonfiction up there on the top. This is all Sarah Dessen. These are like young adult contemporary, and this is like adult contemporary romance stuff. Christmas books in here. And this is also adult contemporary. You can see there's lots of empty space on this shelf, so I've got lots of room to grow, which I like. And then we go into Disney stuff down here. I love these Disney books. And then random magic bands back there because I'm not entirely sure what to do with them. But, you know, it is what it is. So, I think I'm going to move the chair back in place. And I think I'm ready to call this done. You know, it didn't take very long, but I think it's going to be better for, you know, my purposes of actually wanting to read. Because lately I've been wanting to read, and I'm trying to decide what I want to read. Part of me is like being pulled to Pride and Prejudice. I just want to read it again and again and again. I don't know. It's beloved for me. I love it so much. So maybe I'll treat that as a reward for reading something else, because I have a bunch of books on this shelf here that I have not read. So, I don't know. We'll see. But there's a whole lot of stuff I want to read, and I think I might start having more time for that soon. So, it's going to be nice to have these in a more accessible place. I believe this video is going to be shorter. I'm okay with that. I think the point I want to prove with this, you know, part of me is like, I just want to bring you along for everything and share everything with you. And you've been here for all of the library stuff so far, so why would I not show you this? But part of me wants to kind of, I don't know, encourage you that home stuff doesn't have to be like done, and once it's done, it's done. I think that the place that you live can be very fluid. You can change things to, you know, make sure that they're always working for you in the way that you want them to. Because I think sometimes, you know, life patterns change, you know, just habits change. I think sometimes you put something in some way and you think that it's going to work for you that way, and then you decide that it doesn't. So I think it's okay to change things. And I think that's what I'm trying to encourage you by sharing this with you. I don't know. It seems really silly when I say it like that, but that's how I feel. Anyway, I don't feel like I'm locked in to anything other than maybe the way that these bookshelves are. They're not anchored to the wall because they're super heavy, and that's why I don't want to move them. That's why I feel like I've got them the way I want them, the shelves at least. But the books on the shelves, they can change. And honestly, they probably should change. You know, at least I should add more, get rid of the ones I don't read, the ones that I don't like, the messages I don't agree with. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm done philosophizing. I think that's going to be it for today's video. I hope today's video is shorter because I know that sometimes they get a little bit long, and I know that that's not for everybody. I know I enjoy a longer video, even though it's not as much fun for me to edit when it's longer, but you know, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a shorter video kind of mixed in there. But I hope you enjoyed visiting my library with me, and that's it. You guys will see me in another video really soon. Bye!